So if you've been following my channel for a long time, then you might know that budgeting is the #1 tool that helped me pay off $35,000 in student loan debt in just 2.5 years on a $37,000 income. In this video, I want you to come join me and plan your spending using the Simplifi budgeting app. This is a really great tool. If you like technology, the ease of use of technology, and you want to budget, then stick around. This might be the solution for you. Hey guys, it's Justine, your host of the Debt Free Millennials channel, where we talk about all ways to help you achieve financial confidence, crush debt that leads to more fun and fewer payments. If you're into that lifestyle, make sure you hit that red subscribe button so you can join the fam. Now today I want to take a little departure from what I usually do, which is my budget spreadsheet. Budget spreadsheets are amazing. It's a tool that I love, and I also see the true value in using something like a budgeting app. Budgeting apps are great because you can easily take them on the go, and spoiler alert, this particular budgeting app is so great because you can actually share it with your partner and you're not charged any additional cost for doing so. Oftentimes when I'm seeing budgeting apps, it's like they're siloed. And it's like, no, we're partners, we're together, we're doing our money together, and a budgeting app should reflect that. And Simplifi has definitely taken up the challenge and made a really robust budget planning app for you to utilize. So if you want to use an app, absolutely use what works best for your brain, and I'm gonna show you how easy it is to use this app. So let's hop inside the dashboard. Okay, where you're going to be spending most of your time inside of Simplifi is your spending plan. The spending plan is basically your monthly budget. So what I really like about Simplifi is, and this is a new feature, that you can actually plan ahead by jumping forward to different months. So already, even though at the time of sitting down and doing this budget and recording, it's in November, I can actually plan for December or January because, as you know, budgets fluctuate from month to month. I'm going to be doing a lot of holiday shopping inside of December's budget, and I'm probably not going to be hardly doing any holiday shopping in January. So I can make a spending plan that's reflective of that. So right now it's actually calculating an estimated amount of income that's coming in from transactions that Simplifi is already seeing coming from my bank account statements. But what I like to typically do is I like to forecast for a custom dollar amount because my husband and I's paychecks are constantly fluctuating. He gets overtime, I'm self-employed, so the income amounts are constantly changing, but what I can always count on is around 11K per month. So inside of Simplifi, I can set a custom amount, and I can change this to $11,000. And then you can see how that has adjusted things for December. So then I'm gonna click on the planned spending tab. And what's cool about this is they give you tiles for different spending categories. So you can see daycare, fun money, gas and fuel, gifts, which is something that I want to change for December. Groceries is another category I want to change, and so on. So as you can see how the categories are shaping up, or if you feel like something's missing, you can always add in an expense, and you can either create it as a one-time expense or a monthly expense moving forward. So I could always add something like utilities, and then I can adjust this to whatever I think it's gonna be, $150. I also really like they give these suggestions on what that monthly amount should be based off of what the spending has been for the last 6 months. I know it's not gonna be $259 for the month of December. Our utilities budget is usually pretty low. I'm just gonna go ahead and add that as an expense of $150. I also want to change gifts, and so you can click on the little 3 dots and then just click edit this month's expense, and this month for December I could update that to $500. Now, as I change things inside of my spending plan, it's gonna show you what that planned spending amount is as a deduction, and then what's available at the end of the day. I also love this, like, you have $68.49 per day to spend money. Okay. But really I had the $2,123 to allocate towards the budget. So I can actually go in and hit this groceries budget, maybe increase that to, let's be realistic, in this economy, $850 for 2 adults and a baby is in Los Angeles is actually more realistic in this day and age. So now I can continue to just take that available amount, that dollar amount, and start allocating it towards different parts of my budget. So I got my shopping, I got my Christmas gifts, travel actually might be more than the $600, but I do have a sinking fund set up for that. So I might leave that where it's at. Let's take a look at other things. I think gas is probably going to be more like 125 maybe. I know we're going to be driving a little bit. And then let's say, I think I might get a haircut. Let's do that. Hair. So let's say between Kyle and I, mine's more like 60, his is like 30 plus tips. So what do you guys think? 120 altogether? So you can see as you add in these expenses, it's really easy. It's just going to continue to pull the money. And now I've already set my plan for December. As things change in your budget, which we all know this happens, you can go ahead and add in a new expense and make that happen inside of your December budget, or make changes as they occur. So I also really like inside of the reports feature, if I'm trying to make that spending plan for the month, I can actually see how much is going on inside of the budget from previous months. So I can already see, like for November, for example, how much of my budget has been allocated towards different items. November was a weird month because we were traveling and my husband was putting business expenses on our card that he gets reimbursed for. So I know it looks a little weird. You're like, wow, $10,000, $3K in travel because his conference expenses are on that. But it's a really handy chart and breakdown to show you exactly how your money is being allocated at a very quick glance. So you can see for November, for example, dining and drinks, close to $300, groceries, close to $300, everything else, $278. So what is inside of everything else? Then you can kind of go down and see exactly like what are these different categories: health, subscriptions, auto and transport, gifts, financial, and then you can see a breakdown of those exact transactions inside of the transaction activity chart. I also really like this watch list feature. I've mentioned this in another video, but I think it's worth mentioning again because Simplifi has been around for a few years, but they're actually owned by Quicken. And Quicken has been around for more than 40 years. So rest assured that your stuff is set and good to go with Simplifi. They're not going anywhere. And also they were named the best budgeting app by the New York Times Wirecutter and the best personal finance app by PC Mag. And so knowing that they have these credentials on their side just gives you more assurance that this is a budgeting app that's right for you. But back to the spending watch list, what I really like about this is if there are specific spending categories where you feel like you tend to spend a lot of money in, for example, Starbucks could be an outing that you do a lot, or I've had one of my coaching clients who told me she really likes to go out for concerts and she spends a lot of money on concerts. She could actually add that as a watch list here and then label any transactions that are related to that expense and add it so that you can see exactly what the year-to-date cost is of these specific expenses. So I like to track my Target runs, Amazon, and any of my eating out and like restaurant spending. So restaurant spending was actually a ton, $692 a month. That's kind of absurd. And so when I go in, I can actually see month by month exactly how much I've been spending. So let me click on June. Oh, this is so awesome. Okay, so if you click on a specific month inside of the chart for the spending watch list, it's actually going to give you the transaction activity list of where the heck you went. Okay, I love LAX. Oh, you know what? This is definitely includes some travel spending. I can already tell you that much. It for sure includes spending when we were on travel. So that's what's going on here. Oh yeah, like when we went to Las Vegas. So that makes sense of why it was so high. wow, August was really low. November's really low for now. But I love that you can quickly see exactly where you went, what day you went, how much you spent money on it, and it's giving you the complete history of how much you're going to be spending, the average, the total year to date, how much you've spent this month so far, and then the projected amount. The data's all right there. So it really gets you intentionally looking at your budget. I was actually talking about this with another financial coaching client earlier today, is that your budget should not be this black and white area. Like, it can't be an all or nothing. Like, for example, you might be thinking, I'm gonna restrict myself to $100 in eating out, or it's nothing at all. And then you end up going over that amount, and it ends up being a lot more, and you get frustrated because you actually gave yourself a really minimal budget to work with instead of being realistic. What would be realistic is creating a spending watch list like this on Simplifi and seeing, well, actually, we're projecting that you're gonna be spending about $573 based off of what we know and based off of the data. These are just the facts. And so if I can create a spending budget around restaurants that's closer to $500, how can I make up that $73 difference? That to me is a way more realistic budget and more obtainable goal to get me to decrease that restaurant spending over time, if that's a particular goal of mine. Okay, to go back to my spending plan for December and take a look at what I have going on, it was actually really simple. It did not take me a lot of time to set up. And so now I can continue to go back into the app day after day and figure out exactly what amount of money I have left over for particular categories, and I can track that in real time with my partner, so he can download the app on his phone and we share that account, and boom, it's done, which I really find very simplistic, which is what I like to see. So that's a look inside of the Simplifi budgeting app dashboard. I found it very easy to use, and if you want the ease of use of technology and you want to track your spending more closely, then Simplifi could very well be your solution. And right now, they are offering 50% off their subscription. Their subscription model means that you have no ads, no sales calls, but you're getting a really robust budgeting app for a really great price. Make sure you click on the link below to take advantage of that offer before it goes away. Let me know, are you using the Simplifi budgeting app, or what are you using to budget? I think there's no right or wrong answer. You've got to use what works best for your brain, and if the app is your solution, then definitely take a look at Simplifi. Thank you so much, Simplifi, for sponsoring this video. If you like this one, give it a big thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next one.